Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. On again, off again. Vent/rant/FML. It's been a long 2 to 3 years and I'm tired today. This is really just venting, but my wife insists she wants to remain married. I'm waiting through the holidays now, only to deal with this at a better time. I know she's lying to me, but she doesn't know I'm aware. It's rough when you truly wish you could make things work, but a spouse continues to say one thing to you, but is basically lying about it all. So, gaslighting? Avoidant attachment style? Midlife crisis? It really doesn't matter at some point. I've made a huge effort to understand why my wife is trying to make a marriage work, or says she is, but is doing the opposite when I'm not around. Our finances are separate and I have a really good prenup. I don't understand why she would continually try to lie and stay with me, but cheat. WTF? She's just defective, I'm beginning to think. She's having her cake and eating it too. She knows since you have a good prenup, she's not going to get anything out of the divorce. So she stays married but also gets to run around. Screw the holidays, pull the rug out from under her now. Are all cheaters deflective? Or at least deficient? Why continue to lie and cheat? She wants the stability of marriage and the thrill of an affair partner, it really is that simple. She wants her cake and to eat it too. So the best move is to cut off your supply of cake. I've been doing pretty much the same scenario: infidelity, forgiving, more lies and cheating, more forgiving with no effort from her side. My therapist offered some really good insight. Everyone does the best with what they've got. Your capacity to care is much higher than her capacity to care. It's an unfortunate mismatch, but she simply doesn't have the ability to care about the marriage as much as you. I've recognized that in my own marriage, so I've had to make the only choice I've got in front of me. Everything blew up last night. She began complaining about the house and a plumbing repair. We'd been to dinner, had a nice time, and, as absurd as it sounds, I thought maybe this can work. I found myself unloading all the pent-up things I couldn't say. It wasn't pretty, but ended by telling her I never wanted to see her again. Maybe I was naive to think I could bottle things up. Too many lies, so much she was doing, while pretending to be working on the marriage. I still love her, but she's a terrible, lying, unfaithful wife. Can't help feelings and today is just a rough day. Sorry to hear that, man. You're bottling things up because you want to try to save the marriage for the version of her that you fell in love with. I get it, that's why guys like us keep trying. But sometimes that version of her never really existed in the first place. I recently found out that she'd been communicating with AP for at least 10 years, we've only been married for 2, together for 14, she kept in touch with him as a backup. I thought I had her whole heart on our wedding day, and that was my anchor for a long time, i.e. if we can only get back to that time. That made me realize that even our best days were only half-truths at best, and I made up this great person in my head. I want to tell her that I never want to see her again, but truth is, I'll need to work with her for this year's taxes. And since you have kids, it'll pretty much be impossible to not see her. I know you meant it when you said it, but saying things like that just stirs things up and would probably be best saved for a therapist or journal. Lots of people say to stop letting her live rent-free in your head. I want to get there too, but anger is a very real step in the process as well. Connect with it, accept it, and let it fuel you and help you detach. I'm there as well, but we just have to make sure we don't get stuck there. PM me anytime if you feel like sharing. Bro, it takes 2 to marry but 1 to divorce. $% or get off the pot. She is using you. Who cares if she is lying? Get your respect back and get the process started. If not, can you support me also? Like have some damn boundaries so you can move on to your new life. Right now, you are a doormat. Read no more Mr. Nice Guy by Dr. Glover. Good luck. Everyone chooses a time and process giving closure or a clear conscience. We have kids. I want to believe good marriage exists and is possible. This was my only marriage and lasted over 20 years. Takes time to give up on someone you still love, but understanding is deeply flawed and not the person you thought. You've got to love yourself enough to say enough is enough and not be a punching bag. You can love the person she was, but people who love you don't lie, cheat and steal from you. Divorce per Webster's formal definition. A complete separation between two things. Vent/rant/FML. On again, off again, I am looking at my wife's life pattern and realize how many signs were there and are still there. So, even if we remain married, I believe we will be divorced in many other ways. My wife is changing her name, getting a job requiring travel, changed to a separate phone plan, has all friends separate and all but one single people, takes separate vacations without talking or inviting me, and cheated more than once. Something I'm thinking about and it may bring some closure to a few of you. My wife is divorced from me, but I live as though I am married. Why would you remain married and how does this give closure? Stronger and better. Rant. My self-esteem suffered when I found out. My reaction has been to forgive, but a line from Apocalypse now popped into my head. I know who my wife's AP was and can only say I am stronger each day, better each day and he only ages. 30 pounds lost in 60 days, strength far better with 1.5 hours each day in the gym. I'm better in every way and beginning to see myself in a different way. Whether my wife and I can mend our relationship, I am better in every way and understand this was important to me in healing. Don't get fit and healthy and take her back, lol, come on bro. Lose weight, build muscle, date a better person. Right, it's like rewarding her for cheating. That feeling of being half loved, half respected. Duck the ring, the vows that came with it are gone and so is the person who gave them to you. Don't reward her for being dishonest. There is a difference between reconciling and rewarding where infidelity is concerned. I have the feeling that if you reconcile with your wife that you will actually be rewarding her at the same time for cheating on you. I made that mistake in the past and it never helped. Sad, I thought of my ability to forgive was a measure of strength and I think it only made her respect the marriage less. Most likely she saw your willingness to forgive as a weakness in your character, and a silent way of giving her permission to keep on cheating. The rings, your vows and your wife were all gone the moment that other man entered her. Get the divorce and move on. The weird thing about wives that cheat is they think you should know them well enough to have stopped them before they cheated. They also don't believe a real man would put up with a cheating wife. Irony sucks. I can see some truth in that. I've overheard her talking to a friend about a woman and her cheating husband, wondering what her problem was and just how stupid she had to be to put up with him. I'm taking this all in and rearranging the way I see the world. Still, I am convinced forgiveness is strength, but also understand forgiveness is not permission. How do I deal with this? I suspect we're eventually just going to be done and can't move on, but I am giving this time. When you have a long marriage, the way it ends looks a lot different than a shorter marriage, perhaps no children and not most of your adult life with a spouse, at one time your best friend. We all have conflicting feelings when we find out what happened or what's been happening. Mine was rage, hurt, pity for her, anger again, a realization I needed to forgive to stop how I felt, realizing I'd been hurt more than I thought, self-improvement, now patience to probably end up at the same place, but do it in a way I feel is right. I'm doing the therapy, already had 1.5 hours in the gym today, am stronger and lighter than I've been in years, work is going well and I sleep through the night. At first, I was waking up after a few hours sleeping, had nightmares, would wake up with a panicked feeling and just felt terrible. I'm better, not perfect, but better every day. My wife knows I don't trust her, but still love her. Odd, and I know that can't last, but I'm in an odd state where I want to see my best friend find a path back to what she was, not turn into someone I don't respect or even want to look at. So, my path has been to heal myself, improve myself, and show as much kindness toward my wife as possible. I sincerely want to mend our relationship, and she says she does, but I also know she hasn't cut ties. Her version of cutting ties is to end the affair, but still talk, or just talk when I'm not around, and think this is enough. Long rambling post reply, and my apologies. I'm just dumping what's on my mind, and in an odd way I'm okay with getting through this holiday with relative peace, knowing a storm may be coming after the first of the year. If you are saying there is still contact with the AP, you need to tell her, and mean it, that you're feeling. She isn't taking you seriously because you're showing weakness. Her AP takes what he wants. She sees you wallowing in self-pity. The pick-me dance has a 99% failure rate. Only about 20% of couples reconcile, and you are not on that path. Make a list of things you won't accept and give it to her. Contact means the affair is still going on. Is he married? If so, his wife needs to know everything. You have created no consequences for her infidelity. Of course, she has no reason to develop remorse. I found this 1 in 100 chance interesting and ironic, considering my wife gave her AP the idea they might end up married. Resources. I came across this statistic while looking for statistics on marriages surviving long-term after infidelity. Not good, but much worse for the person your partner cheated with, if they think that might lead to a long-term relationship. My wife says she wants to reconcile, and I still love her, so I'm trying, but also looking at some of the odds in favor or not in favor of our reconciliation. You should know that the odds are heavily against going from an affair to a long-term, lasting relationship. Some research suggests that about only 1 in 10 affairs lead to a long-term relationship. Of these, only about 10% are permanent. This means that there is about a 1 in 100 chance that you and your affair partner will stay together for the long haul. And you thought the approximately 50% divorce rate was high. One reason for this dismal statistic is that when a relationship begins with an affair, both parties know the other has been willing to betray their spouse, so they lack trust in each other. Agree 1000% with this. Grass is not always greener. The success rate for reconciliation is dismal. You would get better odds playing a slot machine in a casino. People do reconcile for many reasons that have nothing to do with their relationship. It frequently has to do with their children, or finances, or business. When the reason the couple has reconciled is no longer present, the couple usually gets divorced. No matter what you decide, your marriage will never be the same again, and you will probably see your partner as somebody that you can probably never trust again. This is something that the wayward spouse needs to accept. They destroyed the foundation of their marriage, and though something will fill in that void, it will never be as strong as what came before it. I'm aware of what my wife destroyed and understand we won't be what we were. It's something you either deal with and rebuild differently, or see as an obstacle you can't overcome. I've gone from wanting to reconcile to wishing this would just end, but I also understand I'll always love my wife. That and our very long history, with a good marriage for most of the time, is helping. I know the statistics are grim, and I also have very little trust for her at this point. I met my second wife in December of 1980. We were married in June of 1983. Our marriage was good, sex was great, and communication was good. Then in 1989 things started to fall apart. I was diagnosed with a malignant form of skin cancer and was fortunate to be able to get into an experimental research program at New York University Hospital. The cancer was just the beginning of 2 years of disasters that fell like dominoes. On July 23, 1991, I was in New York for a job interview. At the time we were living in southern New Jersey, a few miles east of Philly. When I got home, I had a bad feeling that I couldn't shake. When I opened the front door, I discovered that my wife had left me, and moved out all of her belongings. She left a note saying that she couldn't handle the stress that I was under anymore. I divorced her in January of 1993. By that time I had moved to Tucson, Arizona, and so had she. I could never figure out why. I never called her, but occasionally she would contact me if she just needed to talk. I still loved her, but emotionally I was dead inside. Fast forward to December of 1999. We actually get back together, but in a macabre twist of fate she is now the one with cancer. We got remarried in March of 2003. When we remarried she apologized for deserting me and told me that when we were first married that she had truly never appreciated what a wonderful man I was, her words. She died in January of 2005 from breast cancer. Moments before she died she took my hand and just looked at me and said, "I'm sorry." 2 weeks later, by accident, I discovered she had cheated on me with 2 different men, both of whom I knew. I was devastated and I was never the same person after that. I often wonder what my life would have been like if we had never gotten remarried. To this day I avoid women like the plague. I love them, but I have completely lost the ability to trust them. The moral of the story is that sometimes it's best just to move on. No matter what choice we make, we can never go back again. What an incredible journey you have been through. So your second wife also became your third wife? Or was there anyone else in between or prior to getting remarried to her? You are correct. My second wife became my third wife, and in the process of applying for a marriage license computer records showed that I was now her 6th husband. Apparently she forgot to tell me a few things about her life. In the face of ultimately was going to become a tragedy, all I could do was laugh. Well, that's another twist to add to your memoir. Your story, ever so slightly, reminded me of how Jenny returned to Forrest Gump, and how she died after they got married. She didn't surprise you with any children you weren't aware of, did she? Anyway, good luck in this journey called life. Interesting twists and turns it could throw at you. We had no kids, but I did have 2 daughters from my first marriage. Lack of trust on both sides. Essentially you are there. It means that you have, approx, the same chance that you state in the title. Is it worthwhile? The person who you loved died in her affair. Her chemistry and character were forever transformed. You love the shell, but I promise you the inside is totally different from the person you knew. Even she can forgive herself, she'll be just as afraid as you are of what is around the corner. I truly doubt she can trust herself ever again. With that said, I wish you luck. Off frown. One reason for this dismal statistic is that when a relationship begins with an affair, both parties know the other has been willing to betray their spouse, so they lack trust in each other. I think this, plus the fact that the affair is all fantasy, you don't deal with real-life problems, and the fact that, generally speaking, once it's out in public everyone, friends/family/etc., will judge you and think you're a loathsome, even if they don't say it, are contributing factors to why affair relationships don't last. They're parasitic. Damn man. Sorry you have been going through this for so long. But honestly, after the years she has been doing this and hasn't changed, and you are still hoping she comes back. She will never come back to someone she doesn't respect, and the more chances you give her, the more respect she loses for you. You need to file for divorce and rip the band-aid off. Sorry, but you are just dying a slow death the longer you remain in the marriage. Sure, you are absolutely right. Cheating is never a mistake. Cheating is a lack of character or morals. So, a marriage where both spouses are cheaters has all the reasons to blow up, sooner or later. I would add a comment to the original post. I've been trying to understand my spouse because she's been very insistent on staying married and insists she loves me. There are problems with this and it isn't matching her behavior, but I am dealing with this better as I understand why people cheat, what brought them to that place, what it may or may not mean for a marriage. Everyone is different. I'm trying to heal myself and a marriage, if possible. My wife and I are almost our entire family other than our sons. Working on the marriage is a choice based on many years of good and based on my feelings toward her. While I am hurt and came close to just walking away, I still love my wife. high up. So you are considering reconciliation. From what I've read from this subreddit about infidelity, which I'm following for almost 1.5 years, for reconciliation has any hope to be successful, it must WS cut all contact with AP, and understand that any further contact, whatever will be, is a deal breaker for BS. WS should show true remorse. WS should willing to do the work to regain the trust of BS. BS should willing to do his part of the work. Both of the spouses must be 110% committed to the reconciliation. If one or some of these items is not fulfilled, I'm afraid that you are only wasting your time. None of the history matters much. Your wife has been cheating on you with impunity for years. And you let her because you lack the confidence necessary to set reasonable boundaries. Boundaries imply consequences, but you're the type of person that won't impose them because they'll hurt you. So you stay in limbo. Here today, gone tomorrow, back again, no wait I'm going. Rinse, repeat. And you hang on the words, not actions, of a skilled liar. Based on what you've written, your wife has shown zero understanding of what reconciliation takes. Zero. She's doing none of the work when, in reality, she should be driving it. Given that, your attempts have an infinitesimally small chance of success, even worse than the stats you reference. Read Leave a Cheater, Gain a Life by Tracy Shawn, aka Chump Lady. Stop being a chump, this will make more sense when you read the book. As far as I can tell, given your current approach, the best outcome you achieve will simply be false reconciliation. This will just keep you in infidelity hell even longer. Stop making excuses for why you won't impose reasonable consequences for truly atrocious behavior. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.